shit, fuck, man. A couple of fucking things has happened in the last couple of days. A few things I'm going to talk about here anyway. I like to talk about all kinds of different shit, but, I'm a huge Star Wars fan. Just, yeah, whatever, dude. That shit is fucking awesome. But, you know, Lucas acquired, Disney rather acquired Lucasfilm and whatnot, and they've been doing new movies, doing anthology movies, which are like standalone movies that aren't a part of the saga and whatnot, and the first of those was the Rogue One. Well, it's not the Rogue One, it's Rogue One, and great fucking movie. And then they had announced that they were going to do young Han Solo. Originally announced it was going to be Boba Fett, and it's like, no, screw that. Okay, I mean, first of all, if you're going to do one about bounty hunters, I want to see one about Jango Fett, Boba's father, who was the one that they cloned the clone troopers after. I want to know what happened to get him that position. How did they pick him? Obviously, because they wanted a badass motherfucker. So they picked him because he was a badass motherfucker. Well, what did he do to get that honor? But then they had scrapped the Boba Fett, pushed it off at least, and announced a young Han Solo movie. And as soon as they announced this, I just, no, it's not necessary. I don't want to see it. It just, God, for fuck's sake, if you know anything about Star Wars, then you'll understand why. In a way, I feel that, because it's Han Solo. It's going to be extremely hard to see anyone else playing that role, because this would be obviously pre New Hope. So I don't know, but whatever. Lando's going to be in it, and all kinds of people. Woody Harrelson is cast in it. So I'm sure that'll be good too. But they ran into some major fucking fuck ups last week. Disney, Lucasfilm, basically, they fired the directors, Lord and Miller. And I don't know, man. They'd been filming since January. They had 3 weeks left. They've been shooting about 5 months. They had 3 weeks left of filming, and they fucking shit can the directors. And there's been a clusterfuck of information coming out of all that shit. Just unreal, man. And, for those who may not know, Lord and Miller, they have directed Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs 1 and 2. I like those movies a lot. I'm not big into kiddie movies, as you would put it, but as long as there's no singing in them, I can pretty much hang. 21 Jump Street and 22 Jump Street and the Lego Movie. Now, I've never seen the Lego Movie. I've seen 21 Jump Street. It was okay. Not really. Maybe a little bit. No. Actually, no, it wasn't. 22 Jump Street, I made it maybe 5 minutes into it and turned it off. Didn't even get out of the beginning opening sequence or whatever, where there was some warehouse on a dock or some shit. I don't even fucking know. I don't care. But you've got those are their examples of what they did, and it's like, these guys are doing a Star Wars movie, and then you think they're doing Han Solo, and you've got to imagine that they were brought in for this one specifically to bring in some of the humor and the quirkiness from their past movies into Han, because Han was a sarcastic he was a sarcastic ass. The original. And, he had a really great sense of humor, but he was just a sarcastic asshole, man. And, so you gotta imagine that's why they brought them in to do this in the first place. But then you've gotta think, no matter what the issues are, or what the final result is with them being fired, how did it take you so damn long to do this shit? I mean, and it's coming out that evidently, obviously there have been problems throughout the whole process, but I mean, what the fuck, dude? How do you let it go this long? How do you keep trying to fix something this fucking long? But here's a quick breakdown of what's out there so far. The directors, Lord and Miller, they started to improv in order to add comedy and going off script. Having, what's his name here? Alden Ehrenreich, I believe is how you pronounce the last name, having Alden go off script and improvise, and reports that it was a little slapstickish, even maybe some comparison to Ace Ventura. Wow. I had heard one report that at one point that, I don't know how big or small it was, but any amount is significant, that they broke canon. So that's not good either at all. And the diehard fucking sweaty fans will just go riotous over that shit. Don't fuck with canon, man. That's all there is to it. There were delays in shooting due to lollygagging and fits on Lord and Miller's part. Report that they were sitting in the cockpit of the Millennium Falcon, delaying production for an hour to 2 to 3 hours maybe, and refusing to start filming. Just ridiculous bullshit, and pissing off the cast and the crew. At one point, Lucasfilms had brought in an acting coach for Alden, the star of the movie, playing Han Solo. Okay, now, I've heard that this is normal. Maybe not normal, but it's not abnormal for this to happen. But they held 2,500 auditions for Han Solo. And the one person you narrow it down to, I'm sorry, should not have to fucking have any acting coaches, lessons, any of that shit, dude. Come on. 2,500 people auditioned for that role, and you fuckers can't. That to me is unreal. I mean, literally, when you speak of things, it's like, what are the odds? 1 in 2,500. I'll take those odds. Wow. What the fuck? But what is interesting, though, is Alden was the first of the cast and crew to speak up. He told a producer related to Kathleen Kennedy, who's the head over there at Lucasfilm, and that kind of tells me that maybe they had brought on the acting coach due to his performance, which was based on the direction he was being given from Lord and Miller. And he obviously was not happy with that. It makes him look like shit. And so he went and spoke up, which kudos on him. I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do. Lucasfilm, obviously it took up to 3 weeks before it was going to be finished for them to fire these clowns. So they tried to do a fade out of directors. Kind of fade them out and bring someone else in to kind of wrap it up, similar with what they did with Rogue One. But Lord and Miller wouldn't have it. They held their ground and said that it was their way or the highway, and so they hit the motherfucking highway when told to do so. Ron Howard has been announced to take up the last bit of this, and it is a very safe choice, in-house choice. Friend of Lucasfilm and everything. You remember little Ronnie Howard was on Andy Griffith's show, and Happy Days. He was in American Graffiti, George Lucas film, which also had an early Han Solo cameo, if you will, with Harrison Ford. But it's a safe pick. I don't know too much about it. I went over Howard's filmography. I was familiar with a lot of it, but I mean, he's done amazing work, but his recent work's fallen a little flat, maybe been a little slow or dull. But beyond all of that, he's not done a lot of sci-fi-ish or anything in this genre, really. That I've seen. But I mean, I've got all the confidence in the world in him. Ronnie Howard, bring it home, baby.